Welcome to Hump Day with Hollywood Hay over at Keeneland Park, eh? That's if we were broadcasting from Canada.
Yeah.
Terry, you were saying yesterday we followed up a good Monday at Parks with a good Tuesday at Parks. Hopefully, we can make it a
Yeah, we did.
hooray Hump Day.
Yeah. Well, in the last 2 days, we've won 11. Both of us have won 11 out of 21 races. So that's not
With our
bad.
top pick, is what you mean?
Yeah. With our
Mhm.
top pick. Yeah. So,
Well, we do a lot of work at Parks. We should start to really narrow down that track a little bit, right?
yeah, it's right. You get to know it pretty well and get to know the horses really well. So,
And we got Jared Bush joining us from New York City. Jared, what's
yeah.
happening, man? I'm sure you're cashing some tickets somewhere on the planet, if not everywhere on the planet. Well, if you want to cash some tickets today, Terry, at Evangeline Downs tonight, then you're going to want to go to Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There's a link in the description down there below. On YouTube, you can also find the link over on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever it is you follow us. And you will see today, Evangeline Downs. Tonight, it is the free track. We have My Idea, and there are always my ideas at the top of the ticket there, Terry. 7-2, so not the favorite. Look at that. You got a nice long shot there. La Lola at 12-1 in the third spot. Looks like a race that maybe can be some good prices there. So at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, when you're sitting around thinking about what should I do, you know what you should do? You should head over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet and play some of these long shots over there, right?
Yeah. Sounds good.
I got Evangeline Downs too later. I'll text you all picks too. All right, fantastic. Want to say thank you to Yasmin for the thumbs up already on Facebook. We're off to a good start, Terry. Got some comments. If, like Jared, you have something to say, you got a question, some picks we should consider, alternative views, different tracks, let us know what you like today in the comments section. Also, thumbs up are appreciated on Facebook, Instagram. If you're watching on Twitter, kindly hit the retweet button right now as we get started so more people can join us. Any interactivity between us and you helps us with the algorithms. It's an easy way to help promote the show, help us, and we greatly appreciate that.
That's
all right,
right.
Terry, tell us about that, which will happen in the first race.
Well, in that first race, we're going at 6 furlongs. It's a claiming race, $20,000 claiming price, $44,000 purse for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 2 races.
So in 6 furlong, the profile of a Keeneland winner at that distance does favor horses that have early speed. In fact, 1 of 3 wins going wire to wire. There's a very strong rail bias, which seems to be the case for a lot of these races today at Keeneland. 2 and 3 is the absolute worst place to be. So be on the rail, get away from that. 4 through 7 play fair, 8 and out. There's a bonus. 10,000 simulations. If you're new here, we're looking for the horses. We project out their speed figure, and from the number of times they have the top speed figure, we calculate out what we consider fair odds. We're hoping to find horses at post time who odds are higher than our simulation favorite. How many times out of those 10,000 simulations the horse actually runs a speed figure above par? Here you can see none of them accomplished that feat, but if they did, you would see a number of 85 or more, according to Brisnet. That's the average winning speed figure. We also want to see who has a chance to get the lead. We mentioned here that a third of the horses go wire to wire. Based upon that, you want to know who's going to be up on the front. We give the high probability to the 2 horse accomplishing that. And then based upon our projected pace, how likely this race is to fit nicely into the horse's comfort zone, hence the C zone score. The higher, the better. Typically want something over 50%. Terry, walk us through the numbers, and what do you see?
Well, you can see there that 4 of the horses show some kind of speed, but that 2 horse has the way highest speed according to our data. And then the 5 shows an overlay from 5 to 2 to 4 to 1. None of them show any par plus numbers, as you said. And all but the 4 show some kind of a C zone, and most of them are pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Along with the simulation, so with the computer doing some work, we do some handwork too. We plot the horses out in what is more commonly known as trip handicapping. You can see here, got a couple that want to be on the lead. You got 4 that want to close. The distance favors speed. The race shape, it tilts towards closers, should favor speed too. We mentioned early on in the simulations that the 2 horse looked like it was the quickest of all. According to its pace, it's about a length and a quarter quicker than Family Factor, who does have other horses to its inside with similar speed. So the 2 should be able to get the lead there, Terry, early on. So coming down the stretch for home, it does look like Knack Bolt, whatever a Knack Bolt is, has about a half a length late pace advantage over Midway Miracle and Enjoyment. Knack and Enjoyment should be neck and neck, so maybe does eke past that one at the wire. Top total pace score in here, Terry, you have 3 of them. Top half of the field, more than 6 points better than the bottom half of the field. So high probability that the 5, the 2, or the 4 are the winner. If you like to play pace, what are you going to play, Terry?
Well, I like the 2, Shogun Be Fast. He drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then I like number 3, Ellie's Boyfriend. He has a high percentage winning trainer jockey and a bullet workout on April 13th. 8, Midway Miracle is my 3rd choice. Finished 3rd in his last race. Has the high speed figure at today's distance. His best dirt speed is fastest among the day's starters. And he's got a good workout on April 17th. My long shot is the 4, Enjoyment. Finished in the money in his last 4 starts and can improve while returning to dirt. We have a typical thing we do each race. We bet $2 to win on our first choice, and then a $1 exacta box on our first 2 choices, a 50-cent trifecta box on our first 3 choices, and then a 10-cent superfecta box on our first 4. And other than that, no additional bets in here for me.
And surprisingly, a lot of times in these superfecta bets for a dime, you see some payouts that are well into $100, $200 range for a $2.40 bet. Yeah.
We've had some of those too, so it's worked out really well.
Well, let's see if the 2 horse can work out its way to the lead there, Terry. Going to take a big class drop here in the 3rd start after a layoff. Does have a pair of nice workouts between races, but the strange thing is this one hasn't won yet. It got DQ'd into first for its lone win. I like the name Knack Bolt, so we're going to put Knack Bolt in the 2nd spot there, Terry. He's the most consistent runner in this field, and quite honestly, his average effort would beat probably almost all of these horses. Ellie's Boyfriend, the 3 horse, 3rd choice, Terry, been regressing. So it's not something I like to see, but it does have a nice April 13th workout, 4 furlongs, 47-1. Let's see if that means a rebound is coming. Then finally, number 8, Midway Miracle is making the 2nd start after a layoff. Does have some decent workouts between races and has room to improve off of that. So hopefully that will be the case for the 8 horse. Well, we got 1 minute to the first race right now at Keeneland. And right now the 2 horse is the 3-2 favorite. Next up on the board is the 6 horse, Terry. One neither of us looks like it has right now. Jared has the 2-6 exacta. That's something he mentioned. So we might want to take a look at that in race number 1. 4 wins at Tampa in race number 2. So keep an eye on that. Looking at the rest of the odds here for the opener, you have the 3 horse now. Ellie's Boyfriend is the 2nd choice at 9-5. Then the 6 horse. Then you have the 5 horse Knack. And then Midway Miracle. So only Enjoyment, the 4 horse being over 10-1 at the moment. Sunny, beautiful day. It looks like in Lexington, Kentucky. The horses are heading to the post. Some nice big, I don't remember if those are cumulus clouds or whatever kind of clouds there are from high school. In high school, remember, Terry, you had to be able to identify what kind of clouds there were?
Yeah, you did.
Absolutely. Do you remember that or not?
Yeah, I kind of do. I took some meteorology classes in college, so.
You wanted to be Al Roker before Al Roker, huh?
Yeah, I was just taking everything I could take there.
The World Dog Show. We want to watch the World Dog Show today, Terry. Maybe we can make some bets on the World Dog Show.
Yeah, maybe we can, huh?
Yeah, that would be nice. All right, Jesus Rodriguez, thank you. Patricia Brown, thank you for the thumbs up on Facebook. If you like what you see, please let us know by giving us a thumbs up or a comment. Best way to help us out is subscribe if you haven't done so. On YouTube, hit the subscribe button and then the bell so when we go live, you are notified. You can follow us on all of our social sites streaming down there below. Horse Race, the number 2 day on X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, anywhere people communicate online. And they're off and running in the opener today at Keeneland. It looks like the 3 horse, Ellie's Boyfriend, has made its way towards the lead. The 2 horse, Shogun Be Fast, not quite as fast as that horse out of the gate. That 6 horse in there, Terry, that neither of us has, is also in the mix, pushing up with the 3. Looks like either the 2 horses jockey thinks they're going too fast or backing out of the race a little bit. Yeah, I think they're probably going a little bit fast there, Terry. I don't know. They're 22-1, but it is a short furlong, 6 furlong race. 3 horse continues to set the tone. 6 horse is going to go a couple of wide, trying to make its way around the track. I don't know if that's going to hold up or not. It looks like it's tiring a little bit to me. Then you got the 4 horse, that long shot coming up on the inside there. Maybe that one will get into the mix, but it does look like the 3 horse right now is the one to beat. The 4 horse is making a move to 6, gone by the 2 horse. It's going to go 3, 4, and then maybe the 5 might find its way up in there too, because all these other horses are starting to tire out a little bit. 4 horse, though, the long shot's really going to give it a crack here against that 3 horse. I don't know if he's going to get him or not, but it's going to be damn close at the wire. It's going to go 3, and then I think 4, 5. 3, 4, and 5.
All right.
I don't know, though. They got the camera on the 4, though, Terry. So it looks like maybe the longest shot on the board. Yeah, they got the camera on the 4. So
well, that's my long shot.
Enjoyment. Let's see what the story was with Enjoyment in here. Maybe coming up in class, 4th after a layoff. Going to go back to dirt. We did all right on dirt.
Yeah.
I think his best races were there. Did show some, well, a little bit of a Z pattern here last time out. So you have that 81, and then in the middle of 77. So those Z patterns do pay off sometimes.
He's very competitive. He's been in the money the last 4 races, so he's been right there.
Mm-hmm. And that switch to Keeneland, though the other trip on Keeneland didn't go so well. So good, decent workout over here as it got prepped. So long shot comes home in the opening race. Well, fortunately, Terry did have him at his long shot. So let's move off to race number 2.
All right. In race number 2, we're going to shorten up to 4.5 furlongs, and it's for maidens, fillies, 2-year-old.
And at 2-year-old fillies, Terry, we didn't do any simulations because most of these horses are making their first start. A couple of them going to make their second start. But what we do know so far is there have been 7 races at 4.5 furlongs during the current meet at Keeneland. And all 7 of them, Terry, were one going wire to wire. The rail has won, I think, 4 of the 7. You've also gotten one from the 4 through 7, and then 8 and out got the rest. So that rail horse, it's got some ability to get to the lead, Terry, probably has a pretty good shot to win. And it does look like right now that the rail horse in race number 2, it's going to be the favorite because it's the Wesley Ward horse. Why do you like it?
I like the 1 horse because her sire has won 16% of the races with the first-time starters. She has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey and a good 3 furlong workout on April 12th. And I like the 8 Tappett's First, first-time starter whose dam wins 3 winners from 3 starters, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey as well. Then 6 Good Looking, which is also a first-time starter, has a dam that has 3 winners from 4 starters. She has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 23% of the 2-year-old races he has an entry in, and he has a good. She has a good winning high percentage winning jockey. And then the 5 Fleet Street, first time starter as well, has a good trainer and jockey and good workouts for her debut. No, I'm going to play the Miami pick 4, Don Johnson. I'm going to do a 1, 6, 5, and 8. That's right. 1, 6, 1, 6, 5, 8. And then I'm doing 2, 4, 6, 9 with the 7, 8 with the 5, 6.
So I'm going to start off with the 1 horse 2. I really don't want to. Caribbean Wind or Caribbean Wind. I don't know how you pronounce that. You got Wesley Ward, those 4.5 furlong races, dominates. 2-year-olds dominates. Checks all 3 boxes. Trainer wins at a high percent, debuts. The workouts are really good. Mama makes babies that win. So all the things that you're looking for in a first timer are there. I'm going to go with the 6 horse, second, good looking, long shot that hits all 3 of the boxes as well. Good workouts. Mama makes winners as well. Trainer hits at 13% with first timers. The 8 horse Tappett's First, another one with good works, good breeding. Trainer Steve Asmussen, we're all familiar with that name. He wins at 12% with first-time starters. And I'm going to go with the 15. The last workout that horse put on the table might prove to be a horse that has some talent in here. My pick 4, I'm going to go 1, 6, and 8 with the 2, 7, 9, with the 7 and 10, and then the 1, 4, 5, 6, and 11. So I feel like that race at the end, that race of death, seems to catch us a lot because it connects it finishes up the early pick 4 and begins the late pick 4. I think it's an open race with a lot of horses that can get the job done there. Let's do our job, Terry, and talk about race number 3.
Okay, we're going to go to the race 3, and we're going to stretch out to a mile and 16th. And let me see here. I'm goofing up here. Okay, and it's a maiden claiming, $50,000 claiming price, $54,000 purse. It's for maidens, 3-year-olds, and upward.
And at a mile and a 16th on the dirt course there, Terry, we want early speed 27% of the time. The winner is a gate to wire type. Again, we find a rail bonus for track light, so maybe outruns 30-1 odds. 2 and 3 play under par. 4 through 7 are almost fair. 8 and out gets a bonus as well. So barbell horses, Terry, something on the rail or a Buffalo Girl on the outside with speed could be the way to go. And there is one on the outside that is much faster than the rest.
Yeah, that 7 horse shows really a lot more speed than anything else. There's 3 others in there with some kind of speed. The one's the closest to the 7, but really kind of far away still. And then the 4 has an overlay from about 7 to 5 to 7 to 2. There are none of them with par plus numbers. And the 8 and the 9 show the best C zones.
So a ton of red here. So most of these horses probably, if I remember going through the race, a lot of these horses, you can see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those inside 5 horses, none of them within 5 lengths of the leader so far at the finish line. The 6 and 8, they're pressure types. The 7 and 9, they want to close, usually in a shape like this. And a lot of maiden races get to the front. That's how you get your first W. Dumond is about a length and a half quicker than Drury Lane. Vincenta, Track Light, Rousset. A lot of these horses are really right behind that 7 horse, very competitive. So if the 7 can get to the lead, the other guys might duke it out, kind of bump and grind each other, could tire them out, maybe get to the 7, get to the front, stay there. Drury Lane, we saw the horse with the second most early speed, has the most late speed by about a length and a quarter over the next horse. So that horse is going to grade out as your top total pace horse. Here are your top 4, the 2, the 7, the 9, and the 5. Our research and record keeping tells us that the winner about 72% of the time comes from that group, Terry. What is your grouping for the winners?
Well, I like the 9 Active Duty. He finished 3rd versus Tougher in his last race, drops in class today. His best start speed is fastest among today's starter, actually tied with another horse. And he has a good workout on April 15th. Then I like number 6, Ice Time. He drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer, and this trainer wins 18% of the maiden claiming races he has a horse in, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters, tied with the 9 horse. And then the 4, Fear of Union, is my 3rd choice, drops in class, can improve while returning to dirt, and has a good workout on April 15th. I like the 2 as my long shot, Drury Lane. He has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and blinkers are added today to keep his mind on business. No additional bets for me in this race.
So we have Lourdes Montiel says play the 2 horse in that second race of Vodka with a Twist. Says here that Jose race 2 at Keeneland, Jugar el número dos. Sorry. For me, looking at race number 3 or 4, right, Terry? 3. I like the 2 horse as my first choice in the 3rd race. Drury Lane has the top total pace, as we saw, 8 points better than everybody else. Only 2 races where a lot of these other horses are more heavily raced than that one. This horse is decently bet in both starts. So I think there's a potential that this horse has more upside than we've seen so far early in its career. Active Duty, the 9 horse, did run the top last race speed figure. It was 4 points better than everybody else. Again, if you're new to the show, Andrew Beyer, the godfather of speed figures, says anytime there's a differential of 3 or more, it's a horse you have to pay special attention to. Dumond, that speed horse, Terry, going to get to the front, much like the 2, only has a pair of races. It's going to go long for the first time, so going from a sprint to a route. And many, many times you'll see a horse that likes to get to the front in sprints, get to the front in routes because it actually speeds them up a little bit. And they tend to stay there in the first time around the track. So keep an eye on that horse going wire to wire. if you like the wire-to-wire types. And then finally, Fear of Union, the 4-horse, the final choice for me. Third start after a layoff, a couple of good workouts between races to keep the saw sharp. And this one, absolutely, Terry, will be closing. That's not always the best way, though, to get your maiden win. But it does happen.
Yep.
Race number 4, what's on tap there, Terry?
All right. In this race, it's going to be a race on the turf. It's a mile race. It's a maiden race, $100,000 purse, and it's for maidens, 3-year-olds and upward.
And at a mile on the grass, there's a couple of them today, so pay attention to this one. At a mile on the grass, there's been 8 races so far. One of them was won wire to wire. Otherwise, tactical speed. You don't want to necessarily be in the back. You don't want to be too fast up front. So in that tactical, maybe second tier of horses is the best place to be. There is a rail bonus for 5-star G-Man. 2 and 3, they play under par. 4 through 7, that's the worst place to be. 8 and out is the best. So once again, Terry, we find be on the rail or be a Buffalo Girl on the outside in race number 4 and do so with some tactical speed. And it looks like a lot of these horses have tactical speed, but one will be getting to the front and playing catch me if you can.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of them do. Several of them have some speed, but that 10 shows the most speed, as you can see from our data. And then that 5 has an overlay, a really nice overlay from 4 to 1 to 15 to 1. And the 9 has an overlay from 12 to 1 to 30 to 1. And then the 5, 9, and 2 show the only par past plus numbers. And then 7 and 8 show the best C zones.
So although
several of them have some.
Yeah, a lot of green dots everywhere. So the 7 and 8 most likely to get a trip that they like, but the 2, the 5, and the 9, small chances, but still chances to run a speed figure above par here or equal to 88, Michael Irvin. So keep an eye on those horses if you think that class is going to win out because they've shown the most class so far. The 11, San Martin, going to make its first start. The 2, Relampago Verde. I know verde means green. I don't know what Relampago means. Maybe someone speaks Spanish can let us know what that means. Uno más bourbon. I think I know what that means, Terry. One more bourbon.
Yeah.
Yes, that's you've probably found yourself saying that unintentionally because your Spanish is not your first language, but too many bourbons will have you speaking other languages for sure.
That's true.
The 8 and 9, they want to be up front, Terry. So let's see who's going to get the lead here. It looks like Saturday Long Legs and the 10, Surf City. So you got the 10, likes to close. Early speed puts it up front. In our book, that is what we call a left arrow horse. Many of those horses run very well. The late speed belongs to Unit Economics, the 7 horse, along with Accident and Co-Invest. They're much faster than the rest of the horses down the stretch. So maybe the 5 and 8 are 2 to consider in here. They are part of our top total pace horses. You got the 5, 8, and 9. A little bit of a separation from this pack down here, which is all tightly bunched. So, Terry, I think if the 5 or 8 doesn't win, pretty good shot that anybody can win. Who do you think is going to win?
I like the 8 Coinvest, ran second versus similar in his last race, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then I like Unit Economics, the 7. He ran second versus similar in his last race. His trainer, he has a trainer who wins 34% of the races. In the second route race, he has a horse running in. And then I like the 5 Accident as my third choice. He ran second versus similar on the dirt in his last race. He has the highest last race speed rating. He has a high percentage, or a trainer who wins 20% of the races when taking a horse from a sprint to a route. And his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. The 10 is my long shot, Surf City. He has been off for more than 5 months, but has been steadily working out for the return to the races, and they added Lasix. So there you go. No additional bets for me here.
I'm going to start where you left off. Surf City, the 10 horse, is going to be my pick in here. If this horse improves at all, let's go back and look here real quick. In race second career start for Surf City. Typically what you'll find here, this horse ran as a 2-year-old. So we have that 2-year-old can't get Lasix. The 3-year-old can get Lasix angle that we've talked about many times. I love Lasix, first-time horse that has some speed. You see this horse definitely shows some speed. That works out there as well. But also you look at the typical improvement from 2 years to 3-year-old. So every month off, you can add like 1.5 points to its speed figure. So it's been off for 5 months. So you can add somewhere around 8 points to its speed figure. That would put it at 86. That would be enough to win this race. Not only that, but look at this workout here on April the 14th, 47-4. That tells me the horse is toned and ready to rock and roll, Terry. So let's see if we get a big effort out of Surf City today. Lives up to all of that. Number 7, Unit Economics. Last time out, just missed. That's our good friend Chris Parmalou's favorite betting angle, a maiden that just missed last time out. Only has to beat one horse this time. Let's see if he can do it in his 3rd career start. Number 5, Accident. That's a long shot, Terry. He's been out the track 28 times. Hasn't won yet, but consistent performer, so probably fills in the exacta trifectas. Did run the top last race. Speed figure last time out. Was 6 points better than everybody else. That was on slop. I do like to see that for a horse making the first trip on grass, because an indication that a horse might like the turf is how they run on off dirt or tapeta. He did well there. Co-Invest, the 8-horse, your top picks. Ours are almost in exact reverse order, Terry. I like Co-Invest too. He's not that far away from winning both of his races so far. Going to be closing and clearly going to be probably one of the betting favorites, with Irad Ortiz blocking everybody down the lane. Race number 5 in this 8-race card, Terry. Take it away.
It's a 6-furlong race. It's a maiden claiming race, $30,000 claiming price, purse $47,000 for maidens, 3-year-olds and upward.
Yes, indeed. And at 6 furlongs, I think there's 3 6-furlong races today. Again, a third of them go wire to wire. Very strong rail bias for Man with the moves. 2 and 3, the worst place to be. 4 and 7, play fair. Again, 8 and out, there's a bonus. So be on the inside and be fast in race number 5, or be on the outside and be fast in race number 5. And with the Air Force horse scratching, boy, it looks like anybody can get the lead, Terry.
That's right. There's all kinds of speed in here. And, of course, the one with the most speed got scratched. So just anyone's guess who knows who's going to get there first to that quarter pole. None of them have any kind of an overlay that I can see. And then the 5 has the only par plus number here. All of them show some kind of a C-zone number.
Yeah, so this race looks like if the 5 doesn't win, anybody can win. Let's see how the pace setup tells us. Well, the 2 and 6 on tap, and Grand Rapids, home of Floyd Mayweather. Those 2 are coming out as the first-time starters. All these other horses in here, the 1, 3, 4, 7, 9, and 10, they haven't been within 5 lengths of the winner at the finish line. So we kind of see that mixed up, anything can happen picture in all of our simulations. The 5 and the 11 show they want to close early on. It does look like Hero Worship will get towards the front. The 11, maybe not so much. It'll be in the closer role. But here, again, you see only a 6-point difference. That's a 1-length difference between the 7 and the 5 as to who's going to have the lead. This race will probably be won by the horse with the most stamina at the late. That's close. Star of Caesarea, most late speed, but probably way off the pace here. So it does look like that 5-horse, Terry. The one we saw grade out as the top horse in our simulations grades out as your top total pace horse. And then you got a whole bunch pretty tightly knit right after that. So it's the 5 and then everybody else, Terry. So you got the 5, and then tell us about everybody else too.
Yeah, I like 5 Hero Worship. He can improve while turning to dirt. Has a high percentage trainer. This trainer wins 33% of the races when taking a horse from a maiden to a maiden claiming race, and he has a high percentage winning jockey as well. The 6 Grand Rapids, my second choice, is a first-time starter whose dam has 1 winner from 1 starter, and one of those was a stakes winner. And then breeding suits today's sprint distance and a good workout on April 14th. 11 is my third choice, Ove. He has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey and has a good workout on April 13th. And I like the 7 Tigers Legacy as my long shot, perhaps in class today. Has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 33% of the races when taking a horse from an all-weather surface to a dirt surface, and returning to the dirt offers a hope for improvement. I'm going to play Don Johnson pick 4. I'm going to use the 5, 6, 7, 11 with the 2, 5, with the 2, 3, 7, and 8. Finish up with the 5, 9, 10. That's a $48 ticket.
I start with the 5-horse Hero Worship. Don't really want to start with the favorite here, but I feel like it's probably has the best chance to win as a maiden special weight dropper. Almost graduated a couple of races back at the maiden special weight. A few nice workouts to keep the saw sharp between starts. Grand Rapids, the 6-horse first timer, Looks good on paper. Flavian Pratt riding on there. But one of the things that always worries me a little bit is if you feel like you have a good horse, why do you debut it in maiden claiming? Why not debut it in maiden special weight and see what you got? A lot of times those horses that look good on paper that debut at maiden claiming, they do so for a reason. Number 4, Al Emik. Probably totally hacked that one up. This one is a price horse that has a good chance to compete here, Terry, with typical second race improvement. We talked about that a little bit before. Again, if a horse making its second start, you can add somewhere between 5 and 13 points to its speed figure to see how that's the range for typical improvement in round number 2 and see how that matches up versus everybody else. Going to get first-time Lasix today. That helps with that 4 horse. And then number 11, Oy Vey. Really nice April 6 workout. Suggests this horse will rebound in this start here. I think it's going to take a lot of money with IRAD riding as well, because IRAD is going to take a lot of money. He always does.
Yep.
They overbet his horses, but he wins it a lot. So it's why top jockeys like that have a hard time generating a positive ROI, because their horses are always overpriced. Race number 6, Terry. This looks like your race of the day.
Yeah.
But before we get to the race of the day, what are they racing for?
1.5 miles on the turf. It's an allowance race, $110,000 purse, and it's for fillies and mares 4 years old and upward, which have never won a race other than maiden claim starter, or which have never won 2 races.
So Jared 5, 6, 7, 11th in the 5th race at 1 mile and a 16, a mile and a half, Terry. They don't run a whole bunch of them at 1.5 miles. I think they ran 2 of them, 3 of them so far. One of them was one going wire to wire. All the other winners were pretty close to the front too. The rail produced a winner. 2 and 3 didn't produce a winner. 1 winner from 4 through 7, 1 winner from 8 and out. So in the limited races, it looks like the most common theme is be forwardly placed. Post position doesn't look like it matters so far, Terry. So in race number 6, again, we find a horse race, Terry, where a lot of horses, if they decide to step on the gas, can get the lead.
Yeah, most of them show some speed. The 5 has the most speed, followed up by the 7, and then the 2. And then the 2 has an overlay from 4 to 5 to like 7 to 5. The 7 has an overlay from 10 to 1 to 30 to 1. The 2 and the 7 show the only par plus, especially the 2 has a nice one. And then 7 and 5 have the most or the best C zones.
Yeah, but they're way under 50%. The 7, Call Me Tony, with the overlay, par plus, and the C zone might be a long shot, 30 to 1 to consider, that we both did not put into our picks.
Yeah.
At 1.5 miles, you got the 4 and 5. They want to be forwardly placed. And the 4 is making its run here in the United States for the first time. And I went back and looked at it. So I know doesn't want the lead necessarily, but it will be close to the lead. 2 horse, Viva la Red, that big overlay, a closer that will be about length or perhaps more in front of everybody else at the start of the race. Left arrow action there. Late speed, Call Me Tony, Holly Folly, Maria's Revenge, Condone. Those 4 are the quickest with a little bit of an edge for Call. There's Call Me Tony showing up again. That 7 horse, Terry. Top total pace horse in here is Holly Folly, the 9. It is 5 points better than Condone, which is about a length. Then you got a few others in here that are all tied up. Terry, you got your pick of the day. I'm a sure thing. Why is I'm a sure thing a sure thing?
Well, she won her last race, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then number 2, Via La Red, is my second choice. Drops in class today. Her best start speed is fast among today's starters. She has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. Then I like the 4th, my third pick. Has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 50% of the time when shipping a horse into the USA to compete. Has a high percentage winning jockey, and they added Lasix. Number 10 is my long shot, ran second in the last 2 races. Has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 20% of the races when shipping a horse into race. And her best start speed is faster than the average winning speed. I'm going to play $26 to win on the 5, and then a $2 daily double from the 5 to the 2, 3, and 8.
I'm a sure thing is definitely the winner, Jared Bush says, Terry, in race number 9.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know about that because I have two other horses on top of it. But I hope for Terry in his pick of the day, it is the horse to beat in here, though. I'm going to go with the Foreign Invader, Awasef. That one coming in. The workouts for the first race in more than a year are really good workouts. So you got to kind of look at this race as a horse that's making its debut. Keeneland 47-4, 47-2 on the turf, 49 at Palm Meadows. I mean, these are all pretty stiff workouts. Did run in a Group 3 over in Dubai. So they obviously thought the horse had some ability over there. Something happened in this race. They put the horse on the sidelines. Gonna catch first-time Lasix. A lot of those foreign horses catching that over here. I know it's making its turf debut, but if you know anything about that Middle Eastern racing, you know that the dirt over there is deep and probably acts more like synthetic than the American-style dirt races. And synthetic is pretty close to what you get on the turf racing here. So I expect that horse to show up and perform well in its U.S. and turf debut after more than a year off. Viva la Red, the two-horse, Terry. That one ran the top last race speed figure. It was 12 points better than anybody else. That's more than that 3 that I'm looking for. It's going to drop in from a trio of Group 3 races and did show some enormous early improvement through the first half mile last time out. You and Jared saying the sure thing is a sure thing. Well, I have it in third. Does have the best turf breeding in the field, but on the grass, this horse has been out 6 times, no wins, a 2nd and 3/3. So a little bit of a wallpaper horse that likes to hang late, but coming off the bench has produced some of its best performances. Then finally, number 9, Holly Folly is my 4th choice, making the classic 3rd start after a layoff. And that was after race 2 saw all of its race internals improve last time out. Jared says take the 2-5 exacta in race number 6. So I thought you said the 5 was a sure winner, and now you have it on the bottom of the 2, Jared. Help us understand, unless you're just boxing. Race number 7, Mr. Terry, what are the conditions for the opener of the daily double, late double?
We're going to do a 6-furlong race here, and it's an optional claiming race. If you put your horse in here to possibly be claimed, it's $80,000 claiming price. Purse $120,000 for fillies and mares 4-year-olds and upwards, which have never won $18,000 twice, other than maiden claim and starter or state bred, or which have never won 3 races, or a claiming price of $80,000.
And at 6 furlongs, we mentioned it twice already that the third of the horses, 1 out of 3, do win gate to wire. Very strong rail for Unsung Melody. 2 and 3, you don't want to get those draws. They are the worst. 4 through 7, play fair. 8 now in the bonus. Again, another barbell race, Terry. Inside, outside, show me some speed in either place, and we potentially have a winner. And that's where you find the speed. So this one should play out the form.
Yeah, we've got the speed on the inside and the outside, the 1 and the 8, and they show exactly the same numbers as far as the data goes. And then that 8 shows an overlay from, what's that, about 7 to 5?
3 to 2.
3 to 2, yeah. And then the 3 and 8 are the only 2 that have any kind of par plus numbers. They all show some kind of C zones, although the 4's pretty low.
Mm-hmm. Yes, day, maybe not today. Our pace set up for the opener and the double. They're 8 and 1. They want to be on the front, Terry. Everybody else middle back, although the 2, 3, 6, and 7 as PC types have a lot of versatility in their game. They can be forward, they can be back. They can determine where they want to be based upon the pace of the race. Early on, Amaretti and Unsung Melody, those 2 horses are likely to jump to the front. I would imagine the 1 will get down on the rail, make the 8 work for the lead, but be willing to give it up as an EP horse. Doesn't need the lead, not lead dependent. To come down the stretch, Irvadine, the PC type, the most late speed, although everybody in this field pretty tightly packed there. So depending upon the fractions, it could be difficult to hold the front runners to catch them at the end of the race. Does look like the 8 and 7 are a little bit better than Unsung Melody. Then a seed coming in there as well. Terry, who do you think wins?
Well, I like number 3, Hal. She ran a disappointing race in the La Brea Grade 1 at Santa Anita in her last race as a favorite, but has a trainer who wins 31% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again. Drops in class today, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. and trainer. And then number 8 is my second choice. Won her last race at Aqueduct. She has the highest speed figure at today's distance. Her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. She has a bullet workout on April 14th. The 2, A Seed, is my third choice. She won her last start at Keeneland and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then the 7 is my long shot. She ran second in her last race, likes the distance, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm out of money as far as additional bets, just my normal bets in here.
So I'm going to go with the one horse Unsung Melody. Horse hasn't run at Keeneland yet, but does have a workout on March the 30th, 4 furlongs, 46 seconds. Terry, that is fast as fast. Maybe a horse for the course. Amaretti, the 8 horse, pretty close to a green go. Green all across the board here. Top last race speed figure was 3 points better than the next closest horse. And really a lot of workouts since that last race with that top speed figure. So should be at least as fit, maybe more today. Howell, that's the post time or the morning line favorite. As you mentioned, Terry, going to drop from a graded 1 effort last time out. Not only was she disappointed, but she's the even money favorite. The reason I put it third, though, is when you look at its numbers relative to the other horses, it's just a tick below. So it's going to have to show some improvement to live up to those morning line odds today. Then finally, A Seed, the 2 horse, a repeat of his last race, the only one it's run so far at Keeneland, would probably be good enough to win this race as well. I'm going to do a $1 exact the key box. I'm going to take that 1 off that 46-second workout and see if that translates from the practice track to the real track with the 2, 3, 6, 7, and 8 on the bottom or on the top. So I just need that 1 to run first or second and any of those others to fill in the ticket. Race number 2, about to get cooking. And remember, we had Lourdes tell us in here that you want to have I think she said the 2 horse. Yes, let me find her thing in here. She said vodka with a twist will be the one to keep an eye on. So let me find that one. I can't find that comment in here because there's a bunch of them. So thank you. Let's see. I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is. I don't know where it is. Anyway, race number 2, they're about to get cooking in that 4.5-year-old. Oh, they're already more than cooking. The 1 horse is on the lead, as you can expect. The 2 horses in the mix there. Does look like the 5, that vodka with a twist. They told us to take that one, Terry. Looks like it might actually win this damn race. I don't know. The 1 horse is kind of pulling away right now. You got a horse coming up on the rail, the 8 horse. I think that one might go by at the end. I don't know. It's going to be close. Yeah, the 1's definitely dying, but the question is the 8 going to catch it? And the answer is going to be yes. It's going to go 8, 1, and 7. Do either one of us have the 8 horse? You do have it in your pick 4, as do I.
Yeah.
1, 8. Beautiful.
So do you, yeah.
Yes, sir.
And
so we're both moving on. The 6 horse did not fire. Don't know what happened to that one with its workouts, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We move forward, beating the 1 to 5 with a 9 to 1.
Yeah.
That's the way to start a pick 4.
Yeah, I actually thought it was pretty much of a wide open race if they could, the only one was that 1, but I was pretty sure it'd get beaten. They do that a lot in these type races. The hard favorite gets beat. This is the kind of race that I would have went with an exacta box or key box with the 1 overall. So that would
the interesting thing though with the 1 horse, Wesley Ward, knows he's going to get him out in a hurry, so they're going to get money. They're going to overbet too. The and that 1 post had that huge rail advantage over everybody else. So a lot of advantages for that horse in terms of what things bettors are looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And it really didn't run a bad race. It just got beat at the end by the 8 horse in there. So
no, he ran a good race.
Yeah, I mean, next time out probably improves. I think Wesley Ward uses these Keeneland races to figure out which one of his horses are good enough to bring over to the Royal Ascot in June, because you do find a lot of times the horses that perform well here perform well that he takes then over to the Royal Ascot, and some of them do pretty good. So let's see. Race number 8 as we close out today's Keeneland card. Of course, tomorrow you and I will be back for Keeneland for day number 2. 9 races tomorrow on Thursday.
Yep.
On Friday for Foreign Fridays, where Tom and I have been a little on the warm side, picking a lot of winners. I think for the last 5 weeks, we've had a ton of winners. I hope I'm not jinxing us. But Foreign Friday at Hong Kong. So make sure you tune in for that. We'll let you know when we're going to get started, probably around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock Eastern. You'll know more about it if you follow us on our social sites below. Horse Race, the number 2 day. Again, a couple days ago, we went over 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you. Got over 15,000 people following us over on Facebook, more than 5,000 on X. I was going to call Twitter. I'm trying to get used to calling it X. If you haven't joined us yet, make sure you find out why so many people are joining us. We're actually growing about as fast as we have right now. So tune in over at all of our social sites, Terry. And Terry, tune in for the preview of race number 8. What do we got?
Well, it's a 1 mile and it's back on the turf. And it's a maiden $100,000 purse. It's for maidens, 3-year-olds and upward.
So, yeah, both Terry and I, Jared. Terry had the 8 as a second choice. I put it in there as my third, and we both have it as we go through our pick 4. So, fingers crossed, we make it all of the way. Earlier, we talked about the prior start at 1 mile on the turf. It's going to be tactical speed. One of the 8 races so far went wire to wire the rail. So, in this case, Dulgaru, that one has maybe a little bit of an edge over the rest of them. 2 and 3, they play under par. 4 through 7, don't back those horses if the early races mean anything. 8 and out, it's the best place to be. Mr. Terry, for the last time, our 10,000 simulations tell a story. What story did they tell you?
Well, the 11 shows the most speed, although there's some others.
The 11, a bunch of them. Yeah, go ahead.
There's some others that have a little bit of speed in there, but that 11, if it gets a good break, should get that quarter pole first. And then the 10 shows an overlay from about 3 to 5 to 5 to 2. And the 12 shows an overlay from 6 to 1 to 8 to 1. The 10 shows the only par plus number in here. And all but the 7 and 10 show pretty decent C zones.
So on paper, this was like the 10 horse, John the Beer Man. We both have it as our top picks. The runaway winner. Is that the way we see it when we do the pace handicapping over here? You see the 5, 6, and 11, 4 and 13 want to be forwardly placed. All these horses here want to close. 8, Marina Gamba going for the first time. Rebel Red, I think, coming in from England. Yes, indeed. That's why there's no data there. Our early speed belongs to Decanted. That one's a lot quicker than everybody else. So that one's likely to be on the lead right there, Terry. And if it can get away with soft fractions, might make it 2 of 9 that go wire to wire. John the Beer Man. Boy, look at that late pace there, Terry. Any number that's triple digits or better, that's stakes caliber stuff right there, folks. Maybe not a stakes caliber horse unless it can do something about this early speed. Maybe get that up into the 80s. Then you might have something. Our top total pace horse is John the Beer Man. Then Special Dispatch. I mean, down here, really, pretty much anything can go in that whole group of horses. So it looks like it's the 10 horses race to win with a real strong late push, Terry. But if it can't get through traffic, after that, it seems wide open. We both think it has a good shot. It's your top pick. Why?
Yeah, I like that horse, John the Beer Man, because he was only beaten a length and quarter versus similar in his only start. He was really fractious at the gate, and he was bumped at the start, so he had a lot of little problems there. Has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 29% of the races. In the first race at a route a horse he trains runs in, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. I like the 9 as my second choice. He finished third versus similar in his last race, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. Rebel Red, the 5 is my third choice. Comes in from Great Britain. Lasix is added, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then my launch shot, the 6, is the same horse that Jared likes as his long shot and his pick of the day. It's got his best dirt speed as fast as among today's starters, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And I'm out of money, so I can't make any other bets. So
the 10 horse looks like the one to win on this race here, Terry. In order to do so, all that horse needs to do is improve off its debut. We talked about adding anywhere from 5 to 13 points on that. As you mentioned, problems at the beginning of the race, really no problem at the end of the race with that just blazing late speed number in 102. Any better start today, that one could run away and live up to that huge simulated odds favoritism. Special Dispatch, the 12 horse, my next choice. And here, 2 races to go. The horse did hit par for this level, so that's a plus. Missed by a length last time out, and that was the first time the horse tried grass. So most of the time, horses do improve second time around. Should be more fit today, as it does have a couple of nice workouts since. Number 5, a Rebel Red. We both have that one. And third, that's your English Invader over here. Does have the best turf breeding. Was well bet in England before coming to the U.S., but the workouts on this side of the Atlantic haven't been that inspiring. Would have liked to seen some better stuff out of that. And then number 6, Decanted. I guess we all think that horse has a shot in there. Did run on Keeneland turf once. A repeat of that race wins. And the way to the winner's circle for this one is to get onto the lead, and probably run an opening half around 49 seconds. If it can do that, could be difficult to run that one down at the end. Here are our full picks for today, Terry. We had the winner in the first race being the 4, the long shot. Then the 8 horse coming home second. Here are the rest of our thoughts for the rest of this day, starting in race number 3. We're both alive in our pick 4s, Terry. We both have our bets of the day left to go. Tomorrow we will do Keeneland again, about the same time, 10 minutes before 1 or 10 minutes before post at Keeneland. 9 races tomorrow on terrific Terry Trifecta Thursday. Any final thoughts from you before we leave today?
Well, just glad to see Jared joined us today for a change. Haven't seen him for a while, so kind of missed him. So that's good. I want everybody to have a great rest of the week, starting from hump day today, and be safe. Tell your loved ones how you feel about them and your friends, because you never know what's going to happen from day to day.
Yes, indeed. And also tell your friends about us by hitting the share button on YouTube. Take that link and go ahead and send it out on your social sites. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of them right down there below. Kindly hit the retweets and all that kind of good stuff. You know all the routine, so kindly help us out with that. Thumbs up on YouTube are appreciated. In just a few minutes, we'll timestamp every race in the description on YouTube, so you can come back and watch that race at your convenience. And then, of course, no matter what you're doing for the rest of this Hollywood Hay Hump Day, we certainly hope you have God's grace, God's favor, and everything you do ends up in
the winner's circle.
See you tomorrow for day 2 at Keeneland. Make it a great day.